here on live WildStar, visiting Thovann Silverthorn again. He's a guildie. I've been building his house for him as a kind of a little experimental project of mine. Let me just send out a real tweet for those that are still looking for codes to get into the PTR. I am still giving some of those out. I'm starting to get a little low on them, so it's just going to be the last few that are available. But a few weeks in the PTR or a week or so is still pretty big. At least gives you a little sneak peek at some of the things to come. I know a lot of people prefer not to hop onto the PTR because they don't want to spoil a bunch of the stuff, but I don't know, it's kind of a fine line depending on how you look at it. If it's, there are those that don't want to spoil it for themselves and they want to see it fresh when it comes out, but then there are others that would like to plan ahead to kind of know what's coming and how they can adjust and prepare in advance for any of the upcoming changes. I'm kind of 50-50. I kind of like to know some of the things that are coming, but other things I kind of don't really delve into too heavily. Like if I'm, excuse me, gonna go through like some questing or stuff, I purposefully don't read most of it until I actually do it in live. Anyway, back to housing. As I said, we're on Thove's plot. And this will probably be one of the last times, unless he specifically requests me to do an actual full-on tour, or I just decide to do that on my own. On live, this will probably be the last time we come here. As far as like streaming, I may revisit later as he collects a few extra things. There are just certain decor that he's still busily collecting for himself. And he's got plans for when the free-to-play transition happens and we have access to some additional new decor as some of the events and things kind of come in. There are going to be things that he wants to probably modify and all of that. And he may request that I help him with that, but I'm not going to make any promises as far as whether or not we'll be revisiting it on the stream. More than likely, if I do some kind of a video for him, I will probably just do it offline and not have any kind of commentary or anything, because I think I'd talk to myself silly over all of the details that have gone into building this. So he might appreciate just kind of a little keepsake for himself later, but we'll see how that goes. Basically, I gave him kind of like a shopping list of some of the last few bits that he might have wanted to include, and he pretty much informed me yesterday evening or afternoon, somewhere around there, that he had pretty much gotten it all. There's still a few things that he's working on, and I will probably help him stick in those bits later. But I think it's just kind of a good time to wrap this up. It's a Friday. We've got several new projects getting ready to kick in, or already kicked in. So it's a good time to kind of wrap things up for this one. He told me as well that it was a little sad because I think he's enjoyed the interaction, the extra interaction. I mean, we're guildmates, so we're going to interact anyway, but just the extra little conversations we've been having about theme ideas and talking about the different furniture and how he wants it to look and feel and everything. And I think he's going to miss that. I will too, but I've got so many other things going on. I'll get preoccupied with that. But I told him that, if it comes that he wants additional changes or modifications and he feels like he doesn't want to do it himself, he's free to come and give me a nudge and say, hey, can you come do this for me? or if he decides, you know, a few months down the road that he just wants to redo this entire thing or has an alt that he wants dressed up, we may have a chat about that as well. So anyway, the main thing I did yesterday, which we did on the stream, was we added more plants. Like I said, he's busily collecting some of these mossy overgrowths to try and kind of give the illusion that the roots of things above is kind of intruding or coexisting with the stuff that's going on downstairs. So just to kind of tie in the two zones so it doesn't feel so apart. I tried doing that with some of the water decor to kind of indicate that the pond up above is actually feeding either nutrients or water source or whatever into his experiments down below. But just due to the nature of some of the decor that we have, that would kind of work that way. It's not as, it's one of those things you can envision it, but you know, to actually make it so is a little bit trickier. I did work a little bit in dressing up a little bit more of his desk here. Probably to just the regular Joe that traipses through here, they won't even notice. They'll just accept that it's part of the set here, especially part of this desk that, you know, they recognize a lot of these pieces will probably already be on there. But for someone else that might have a little bit more contact with the decor, may notice that I've added a few extra new pieces, not just the book, but I've added scrolls to the desk. It's basically towels. Let me do a reload so I'll make sure the controls are working right, and I'll show you. And hopefully I don't make it wig out, but it's basically just some of the towels that you get from the, I think it's the boxing fab kit, inserted in just to a certain depth that kind of looks about right, and then the little like wax seal ribbon thingies or whatever you want to call them. It's just bandit detonators that have been kind of placed in there as well. Just a simple thing. I've done it before. I think I had a few, or at least one in my Protostar, like Proto Toys kind of workshop thing. I had played around with little details like that. I'd like made sandwiches and pizza and the scrolls and a couple of other details that I was interested in seeing if I could pull off effectively. And again, it's one of those little details that a lot of people won't notice, but for me, I like those little things. And you know, when I tour someone else's home, I always keep an eye out for stuff like that because you know, it makes you feel good when people actually notice it, even though normally they probably wouldn't. And I guess it's kind of like some have said, it's kind of a compliment that they think that it just comes that way, that they don't even recognize that it's not something already added in. But it's still, you know, a clever thing that, you know, people will do, and they like, well, you know, why do I even bother if no one's going to notice it? But for me, I like adding those kind of little details. So anyway, we added those. That was just some extra little doodads that I thought you might like. We did add just a regular towel to the sink area. I thought about adding like a towel rack somewhere, but it felt kind of funky, so I just thought, well, I'll just leave it on the counter itself. So yeah, basically we're just down to seeing what all he's managed to collect, what any other things is left that we can throw in, and of course leave a little bit of space. We're not going to go all the way to 1,000. That way, as he gets a hold of more of the mossy overgrowths and anything else that he thinks he might want to add later, that there's room for it. Because I can't really assume that he's going to be one of those that will upgrade his decor count once free-to-play hits. It's a possibility, but he hasn't specifically said that that's his plan. So I need to be thoughtful of that and make sure that there is a little bit of space left. And of course, if it comes to it, there are details he could probably remove to make room for new things, if the case is that he is restricted to the 1,000. So we're just going to go through and see what else he has left in his crate, and just kind of see if there's a place we can put it, and just to kind of finish dressing things up for his house. Mostly it'll probably be a lot of trees, not trees, plants and things, because there's still some areas, you know, we could add some extra little bits. I do know he added some more, I think it's the cerulean, where is that? I know my alphabet there. Yeah, the cerulean sky growth. So he's got a few of those, because I think he really liked having these come creeping down from the ceiling. So I'm going to try and find some places for that to pop. Where could we put those? Definitely could probably put one right there. I know it's going to be kind of mirrored because it's like one on each side, but I'll add a few others to kind of uneven it up, I guess. Maybe even one or so from the top up here that actually isn't in the tank, but we'll see. So let's drop that in here in a strange way. Oh, that thing's just not wanting to drop down, is it? I think we'll just change that up. I don't know what I did to it. Just kind of got cranky, didn't it? Let's try that again. Oops. Okay, now the trick is these roots, they do have collision, so if I'm going to put them in this little narrow pathway, you want to be sure and make clearing so that your visitors can comfortably walk past them. If you notice over here with the mossy growth here, this root as well has collision to it. Hey Bones, welcome to the show. So if I'm too close to the glass, I can't walk past it. I have to actually go through the little archway that it creates. But that's okay, because it's still passable. It's just it might kind of, they'll run into it and they'll go, oh, I can't, and then they'll have to turn. But you want to make sure that, like see the leaves here, they've got no collision, so that's not a real big issue. But like here, this could pose a problem with it being so narrow. So I want to be sure and push that in far enough that it doesn't cause any problems for anyone. Oh, well, that's good news, Bones. I'll have to check that out later today, probably after my stream. But a little train station for your rails sounds pretty fun. Um, like I said, it would be cool if, the vehicles that we built, we could actually like animate them in some way. That would be fun to be able to ride around, like the little golf cart I have on mine, or I think yours has a car of some sort, doesn't it? Some kind of a truck. I may be confusing it with another place, but there's a lot of vehicles like little hover bikes and things that I've seen people put together. It would be awesome if we could like somehow have it consider it one object and just animate it for us, and you can like set the path or something. It would be great if they had those kind of tools for us. Okay, so I think that's an okay space. It's not too crowded. It still feels a little open. Like I said, I don't want to overdo it with these things, but and as far as the Katia Builder Toolkit, I can confirm that I have the PTR version that she's given us access to, and I've tested it out, and oh my gosh, it works like a charm. I have a little bit of stuff set up on my PTR's plot, and it's not like a full build or anything, so it doesn't take really too long to rebuild it. But just to test her sets manager function, which supposedly will, here it only shows being able to work with, you adding item by item if you want, like when I used it for copying the couch over here. But in the new version that she's not officially released, but it's kind of released now, it will do the entire plot, everything that you've got placed, both inside and outside. And so I tested it on the PTR, and oh my gosh, it was very awesome. I mean, she kind of demoed it for me with her Cat IKEA store. She had it completely gone, and then she just watched me, let me watch it get rebuilt just with the click of a button. But I actually got to test it myself. I was kind of testing not only if you could be standing outside and rebuild it from scratch, or if you could do it inside. I did talk to her about maybe adding the option of being able to choose if you want to save the inside and outside separately. So maybe you want to change just the outside, and you can just create those pieces, and then change out the outside but leave the inside alone, that kind of thing. It's something she's noted down, but I don't know if it's going to be anything she'll actually be able to incorporate. But just what she has now, you're able to name the sets, so you could say, this is my winter plot, or this is my guild event plot. If you have like a special guild meeting every month and you don't want the same kind of official looking business going on, and you want to do something different for your personal use when you're not doing the meeting, then you can like switch it that way. And it's just very cool, very, very helpful. And I didn't notice any kind of weirdness about it. The only thing you have to be sure is if you're going to do a full rebuild, or even just a little set piece rebuild, you have to make sure that you have everything in your crate. It will buy the stuff that's available on the housing vendor direct, but like if it's something that you like say the wooden coffin or something, you need to have that in your crate before it will actually put it into the build, if that's part of the build. She did say that the version she has, that she hasn't actually released to everybody else, that hers will itemize what items you need or are missing, I guess, and will kind of guesstimate about the gold costs and the renown costs and that kind of stuff. So that will be very helpful, especially for those that are going to be using this updated version on the PTR to start doing some prelim building on the PTR. Once it hits live, we'll just hit the button and say, whoop, and all right, Bones, I'll see you later. And it's just an amazing thing that what she's been able to do with it and what's coming. But I wanted to confirm that I did have it successfully rebuilt. I copied the entire plot, then I created everything, and then I hit the button place all, and it just automatically, you just watch all the items kind of pop in. It doesn't do it in a blink. You know, the more items you have, the longer it takes to rebuild. I did ask her about some way of kind of giving a notice to when the build is done. You know, maybe it makes a little ding sound or a little reconstruction complete, something or other, a little pop-up or what, I don't know. But she said she's going to give that some thought, so maybe that'll be helpful. But I know she said something about either it was a 4,000 or 5,000 item rebuild would probably take somewhere like 10 minutes. And so it would be helpful to kind of know when that 10 minutes is passed, or, you know, time yourself. You know, there's no idea, because like I said, the more pieces you have that it has to place, the longer it takes. Well, if you only have like 800 pieces, you know, how long does that, you know, I don't know how she's going to do it, but, you know, I can see only great things coming from it. But she's also looking at making an import-export feature in-game. Right now, she said that you could actually share your little custom-built sets that you put together. So say if somebody wanted this couch, theoretically I could dig through the file, I guess the Lua file, I don't know what I would be looking for, but and could send them the information, and if they have the add-on, then they can place that into the add-on folder or whatever and have that available to them. As it stands, though, the way I believe it'll work as well to bypass that, if you don't want to mess with the coding and stuff, is you could just be roommated by that person and have them come and rebuild it. But again, you have to have your little shopping list, and you've got to know what materials are required before you can finish that up. But anyway, I kind of got off track there. But it's just, I'm so excited about things like this because they make builders' lives much easier. It's going to allow people to do a lot more sharing as far as, you know, maybe someone has a knack for landscaping where others don't, like myself. That would be a great way to say, hey, can you set up a landscape that kind of looks like this or this, and then just import it, have it there, and then you could, you know, add to it however you need or want. That would be a great way. Or, you know, just little decor, like if someone wanted the pizza I made, or the car that someone else makes, that would be a fantastic way of saying, here, you know, I created this. If anybody wants a copy of it, let me know, and there you go. So yeah, that's going to be very, very helpful. But the full set thing is, I think it's going to be awesome. And like I said, you'll be able to name them. So set 1 could be like your winter plot, and set 2 could be your summer plot, and that kind of thing. So that, you know, later if you decide, man, I wish I hadn't scrapped that one, you can just recall it anytime you want. So yeah, back to what I was doing. I was going to copy and paste this thing. I promised that was the plan. I know some of my viewers probably get really perturbed with me because I just kind of rattle on and get really distracted about what I'm talking about. It's not that I do it on purpose. You know, I don't mean to stop working on stuff. It's just I get kind of, I don't know. Let's see, do I even want this like that? Maybe something smaller. I don't really want it intruding on the desk too much, but I do kind of want some extra to kind of cover up some of that wall back there. Just a little bit, you know, nothing super intrusive. Maybe not have that big bulby thing. Have some roots showing. Can't see my arrows very well. Just looking for a good arrangement of roots there. I don't know. Sometimes I'm particular about this stuff, and other times it's like, eh. And let's see. That kind of like sitting right on those books. It might not be too bad though. Just checking to see if it looks weird with the roots coming out of the glass. Maybe more yeah, like more to the side, not like actually inside the, like it's just kind of crowded and trying to grow through whatever it can get to. Let's drop that there and then we'll see where all this other stuff is landed. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be too troublesome. It's blocking the tanks in the back a little bit, but not bad. And it's not really too intrusive on the books where I have them placed. So that's good. I'm just gonna go ahead and move them just a touch though, just to make sure that it doesn't give the impression that it's being penetrated by that. But it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I think it lands pretty good, so leave it like that. Just some extra little bits. That'll work. Okay, and then I told him I would add some more books, which he's really gone all above and beyond as far as providing plenty of books for that. So we're going to try and use a good many of those up. See about dropping some in here. Because as I said, he really wants to play to the fact that his character is a bookworm, so I'm going to try and perpetuate that with all these little bits and baubles stuck in. I say bits and baubles a lot. I don't know why. I don't know. Fun phrase? Come on, work with me here. And that doesn't look exactly like the one that's underneath it. Let's add another one. Let's see, maybe the medium stack on top of there. I wonder what Bones' meeting is about. You would think that, you know, these wouldn't be difficult to smack around on here, but I don't know. There, you got to pay attention to. You don't want your books being floaty or clipping into each other. Good angle here so I can see where that book is landing. Maybe I can get that. Probably an easier way would just. There we go. There's like this precariously stacked pile of books. Oops, what did I do there? Throw another pile there. It's the same piece, but if you turn it, flip it, resize it, it helps look different. That's always a good thing. The one here. Size it a little bit. Why does it want to cooperate? And let's do this one like this. Turn it, tilt it. Get the right arrow to top. Little bit. It's kind of a little arrangement of books. Let's see. We'll let's see. Can we flip that? $90. Size it a little bit, and no, won't let me do that. I was hoping it'd stay oriented the flat way. I could just move it straight, but no, it wouldn't let me do that. Just an update on the wild ball plot that I am currently working on. Kathy has been very patient and helpful in trying to get me to understand what needs to go where, and was kind enough to copy her entity plot that she currently has set up for the wild ball field on entity side, so that I could check it out on the PTR and then just kind of use what I see there as a guide to set one up on EU side. So I do have the field pretty much done. I have it on a new alt that I made. I rushed up to level 14 just so I could get to access the housing and stuff, but I did that yesterday, and I've basically got the field all done, and I'm gonna work on the scoreboard sometime today. It probably won't be this morning, but sometime today, hopefully. I'll get that sorted and convince one or two of my guildies to come and test it out and make sure that the thing is actually functioning like it's supposed to. And if it is, then I will be opening it up to the public for EU players to give it a try if they want. I'm going to do my best to make myself available as often as possible because I do have to be present on the field to get the game to actually work. Otherwise, it's just looks like a field that nobody can do anything with it. But I just want to make sure everything's working right before I do that, because it'll be awfully embarrassing if I open it up and it doesn't work at all, and I'll be like, God, what's wrong? But let's see, we're gonna, I think I'll add another stack of books here. Size those differently. I'll put an open book here, I think. Because he does have a few of those that we can use. Let's put it over here, maybe. A little tricky since this is a curved surface and not exactly flat, so gotta, maybe we'll put it on the pillow. Maybe that would be better. Or yeah, that'll work. Leaning against the pillow. Or it's kind of floating on the pillow, so let's change that up again. This is a good idea, but that didn't quite work as I planned. Maybe make it a little bigger. That looks all right. Like he was kind of in the middle of reading and just kind of stepped away. Works for me. Maybe we'll push the pillow in a little bit more. Just to really kind of give that idea that it's leaning on the pillow. Let's see, maybe he even needs a cookbook for his kitchen. Let's just leave one of the, I don't want to do a stack per se. I can spell book. Or maybe I do, I don't know. Does he, maybe he's reading up here as well. Let's see. Give him a stack and I guess one of the open ones. We'll lay that here. That's really, really bright. We might want to move that side. Even the towel is like really bright. And it's just because of the spotlights, but I want the make it like he's sitting there reading. Or was sitting there reading. Yeah, I wanted the spotlights, but I didn't anticipate how bright it would make certain things. Like I did have the light, I moved it over top of the sink and it was like rooms like glowing, and it's kind of the same with the towel. So, but I like the towel in the position it is, so I don't really want to move. Okay, more books. Books. Put another stack here, I guess. Medium stack. That's good. I already put quite a few here, which I think is all right. And he really liked the pumpkin, so I made sure to add as many as I could in here as well. I could probably add more. I really wanted to purchase a few more of the groups pumpkins that you can get. But I think I will leave it as that. Just kind of looking if there's any kind of empty places where he might stack some books. I think we'll drop one here. A nice little corner stack. Little snugger there, I think. Okay, let's see. Got several books here, but I don't think it would hurt to have a few more, so let's see. I'm gonna do a quick reload. Excuse me. The next time I go into PTR, I'm going to have to remember to kind of notice if it does that laggy bit while I'm there. Because that really is annoying. Let's just put a book here as well. Okay. Maybe it's a ledger for his experiments or something. It's his notes. Who knows? I don't think he'd have books in his storage there, but you never know. Let's see. Let's go back up to the library. The library should have a little excess as well. Maybe he's just got some kind of stack down here that he hasn't sorted, put back into its place. Apologies for the throat stuff, but it's just been very... Whoops, that's kind of landed on the wrong side, didn't it? Well, heck, I kind of like that, so let's do that. We'll fix it a little different though. It's like it's file, maybe. It'll make sense here soon. Right? Okay, then let me just set this to books. I'll quit having to type it every time. There's that one, and then we'll do another stack here and maybe an open book as well. Let's see, will that one be visible? A little bit. We'll say maybe he was putting them away and dropped one. I don't know what that really isn't visible, but brown against brown, there's not much choice there. Okay, so let's see. I try and explain how these little books are kind of up a little higher than the rest. Really need a tome for this gigantimous book. Let's see, we need one more, I think. Something like that. I think that'll work. Just a little pile of books. I'm envisioning that, maybe he's, putting them away or something. There's already several stacks here. I don't know, maybe these are too big. Of course, the books up here are pretty big as well, so maybe that won't matter so much. We have big books, little books. I like trying to make them different sizes because not all of them are like, little novelettes or something. Maybe there's big encyclopedias or atlases or who knows what. Got one here, books there, and we got one empty. Sounds good. What we got up here? Engineering book, another stack. Put an open book here, I think. And maybe back. So still need to finish fixing that as well. Excuse me. A little in there and back over let's see if we can fix these kind of like I had them before. Again, I had originally had these kind of like little drawers down here, and then when he discussed adding a desk up here, I thought maybe he might want a bridge connecting the two areas, but he was pretty adamant that he didn't really like that part, so I removed it, and I just haven't gotten back to fixing it back to the way I had it, which I will rectify now. Yeah, there's supposed to be like, I don't know, little drawers or something that papers or I don't know. Probably gonna have to remove that tank in the front as well because it doesn't make sense to have that there now. There we go. Something like so. I also need to move the keyboard back over here. Something along those lines. So that leaves some more room for books. Books and books and books. Let's see, let's arrange these first. It needs to be sized down a little bit because it's getting clipped on the edge there. Oops. I'll just turn it sorta. So, and then I'll just leave that one kind of the way it is, but size it just a little bit so it's not being clipped into the thing. Welcome back, Bones. Nice short meeting. Okay, definitely need some books here, so get one of the small ones. Let's do 2 stacks of these. I'm going to do this a little bit different, I think. Let's try it this way. Push that in. We'll leave those the same size as they are. Well, maybe a little smaller. And move these a little closer, but a little bit of a gap. And then we're going to effectively kind of bridge them a little bit, if that makes sense. Don't want to do it where it like looks like it's gonna slide off. Don't want it that steep. but I like the idea of having his books so, disorganized that he's just kind of got them propped up any way he can. Just finding the right positioning. I think that'll work. Kind of a big pile of books. The only thing that bothers me is these are the same positions, so I'm gonna have to change that. Hold on. Okay, does it look all right? It looks okay. It included breakfast. Well, that's handy. What'd you have? Donuts? Or was it like a really good breakfast? Not that donuts aren't good, but it's not necessarily good for you, as opposed to, nice balanced breakfast. Okay, so we got the precariously piled books there. Look like they might just kind of slip and fall off the side a little bit. Move this a little bit more. Looks better. Okay, let's see, how many more do we got? 3 more to place. 2 stacks of medium and 1 single. I guess since this is his desk, it's like a lot of S's there. We'll just add some more. Let's put one of the stacks here. And I guess one here as well. And the single we'll put here. I'm just gonna like load his desk full of stuff. Well, that's nice that they provided that. Not a lot of companies would do that or even consider it. Okay. Where did I put that? Okay, right here. Drop this here. And let's see, where did I put that other one? Oh, right here. See, it's too matchy, so I'm gonna have to change that up. Fit this way. We're gonna hide a few of them. Size it down just a little. I think we can get away with that. It looks all right. Sort of okay. Sadly, there wasn't any donuts. Well, each their own. That's one thing. When I moved to Europe, that was one thing. It was kind of a fun thing to figure out that The food items here is a little different than what I grew up with. You know, the donuts in the States taste and look different than the donuts here. We do have a few bakeries that make donuts, but it's like, those aren't really donuts. I mean, they are, but it's not the same. Like the first time I got peanut butter here, wow, that was an experience. It's like, what is this stuff? That's not peanut butter. Because, you know, you grew up with Peter Pan peanut butter and, well, everything else is kind of second rate. But I do have to say the chocolate and stuff was a big improvement compared to the States. The States is chocolate, or at least where I grew up. It was like eating, you know, strange plastic. Where am I based? I'm in Belgium. Um, Close to Antwerp, I guess. I'm really bad with geography. I think Antwerp's a little north of us. But if I have my directions right, I could be actually south. Uh, you know, they could be actually south of us, and I could be none the wiser. But I think we're south of Antwerp somewhere. Southwest, maybe. I don't know. But no, I'm originally from the States. So, but I've lived here for about a little over 15 years, I think. Still refuse to really go all aboard the language thing. The region I live, they speak what they call Flemish. It's kind of Dutchy Germany. It's got little bits that sound the same, but you know, of course, like a lot of the European countries, you go from village to village, and they've got, you know, drastically different dialects and everything. So it was funny when my husband's family decided to welcome us over as new additions to the family. We had this huge table of relatives, and like one end of the thing was like a drastic difference of dialect from the other end. So there was like some of them that couldn't understand each other very well, but then you had the in-betweens that would kind of filter it out and translate and stuff. It was very weird. And of course we have the French speakers as well, and then of course they have some relatives in the UK too. So it was like a mishmash jumble of dialects and languages and stuff. It was very overwhelming for my first introduction to the family, but yeah, one of those things. But like over here, it's like everything's kind of like little packages. The meat's little, and the cereal's in small boxes, and the milk is in little things. And in the States, it's like supersized everything. You know, got a gallon of milk and I don't know. It's just funny stuff that you notice. Kind of take for granted that it's the same everywhere, and then you go and move someplace new and they do it totally different than what you're used to, and I'm like, what is going on? Okay, so that's all of the books, I think. Yeah, we have no more books to play, so let's see what else he's got in here that we might could add to the place to make it a little extra. Never been to Denmark, Bones. Of course, I've never been to a lot of places, but we did a little bit of traveling, but it's usually countries that border Belgium that we kind of reach out to. Excuse me. I've been trying to decide if there's really a need for me to add a lot of extra lighting. I've got like this lantern in his room. I've got the spotlights over the kitchen area. I'm kind of going on the idea that the candles in the fireplace will provide the light for here. Not that it actually does, but no, maybe he wants a light inside here. I don't know. Let's look at the lighting just to kind of see. You know, because he could like give it like a weird purple light effect, kinda. I don't even know if that would look right or good. It's kind of a weird. Some of the effects these lights have is pretty fascinating. Like the car themed lamp, that's always pretty fun to look at because it's got the weird design on it. So when it's in a room, it has that marking on there, and this is kind of the same way. Just trying to get this straightened up a little bit so I can kind of get the looks a little dangerous to have that little needle poking up at the top. It's got that doohickey sticking in there, so maybe that won't work. If we could hide it all together. Without it popping through. Okay, that kind of works. So that's with the light on it. And then if we move it away, kind of helps. Adds a little something. I'm reluctant to let go of it until I'm sure that we want to keep it. Because once it's there, it's there. So I hunt it up in the item list, which is always a fun thing. I just noticed that part of this is sticking out the glass here, so we're gonna fix that. Just little things like that bug me. Better. And it's like right up against the glass now. Now he's got a little lit terrarium there, so that's good. Which reminds me, maybe he wants some lighting on the terrariums out here since they're kind of like the big show bits. So how to do that? Lighting, what do we got? Flares and spotlights, lamps. I don't even think that thing actually gives off light. I'm not sure. Never noticed it having that, but held an antenna for some green stuff. I think we'll let's see if the new version I updated this yesterday, I think it was. I'm going to see if it actually works like it used to, where it would buy it straight from the vendor for you. Hopefully it doesn't give me an error. Wow, that kind of meant to pull it and not turn it. That's all right. I'm going to probably have to turn it. I'd like to add some lighting here. The problem is I'm worried that it's going to show through on the back side. So I may have to be forced to make it smaller than it is. Or otherwise disguising it or something. But I like the idea of it kind of mimicking what's going on up here. I think that'll work all right. Let's see how it looks over here. Oh, well, we looked at it. It's thick enough where it's not really showing, so that's great. That is excellent. And no, it didn't work. So I'll have to buy those. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I can't decide if I want to go ahead. There's 4 on that side. I almost want to put another one here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And get the piece for that. So let's try the copy clone again. This time maybe I'll click the right arrow. Just pull it out. Turn it as needed. So lift that up a little bit. Kind of like a heat lamp, maybe, some kind of thing. You know, he may decide he wants to use a different lighting kind of thing for it, but I think this will be okay. That'll help really light it up nicely. Let's see. Just grabbing the other one so I can copy clone it easier and make sure that it's on the same height. Trying to get it just so here. I'm very worried that I'm going to accidentally let it go and then it's going to be stuck in there funny. So I'm looking, the glass itself is kind of off center with the positioning. So it's not exact, but I'm doing my best to kind of make sure it looks like it might be about the same. I'm mostly looking at the top here, about where the light lands, kind of just off the edge of the, it's pretty close. I'm going to call it good. There's a nice little lit up corner there. Much big difference between the two as far as lighting goes. You know, I don't want his house to be totally dark. And with that, the added bonus that this is lit up as well. Just notice these chair things sticking out through here. Oh, that's not good. Didn't notice them before, but there they are. Well, I'll have to think of something for that. I forgot, this has got some thickness to it, so I didn't show up there. I'll mention it to him, and if he's really adamant about switching that out, moving them, it's just the height will be wrong if I raise them up to get the legs to go bye-bye. Just one of them things. So I may add some piping or something to kind of cover that up. For now, though, we'll stick with the lights. Just worry about the lights. So go back to orange. I really wish this had a search function, or at least, or like also that it like stayed in the list wherever you happen to be. It's like if I want to check an item, and then I click it, and then I go to check another one, it's like already moved. If I happen to close this up, I'd rather it, you know, I don't know, like it's simplified and a little user friendly, because I can't stand this thing. No, I'm at the wrong thing. Looking for the sconces. There we go. Yeah, it would, Bones. It definitely would, because there's a lot of times I forget the name of something, but I kind of know part of it, and then I have to go research it up. If I could just have a search function, that would make it so much helpful. Okay, so let's bring this light over here. And again, we're going to try and get it kind of in the same spot, sort of. So I'm kind of looking about where it should land, sort of, and that fits about right, I think. And of course, once we got it set, we'll double check elsewhere too, just to make sure. But I'm hoping this gives him a little extra light in his bedroom as well. Even though he does have the little reading lamp for his bed, I want it to be fully pitch black in there. Okay, orange sconce again. I can. And two, I could be wrong, but sometimes when I use this list, it seems like it randomizes the order. Not necessarily, you know, it stays alphabetical, but I mean all of these orange glass sconces. Like for instance, right now this one here is the third one listed. Now it's probably not going to work now that I've mentioned it, but I think when you like open it again, it won't necessarily be the third one. We're going to test that just off the cuff here, and it'll probably be the third one because I'm saying I think it doesn't, but I think it randomizes. See, now it's the second one. No, it's still the third. Well, crud. But I swear it's like really hard. Like when I was trying to note down some positions of stuff, I was like going through them bit by bit, and then I had to go through it again. If you accidentally close this, you're just kind of screwed because you have to, you know, if you want to look for a specific one, you have to click through each and every one just to make sure it's the same one. But it irks me terribly. And I know it probably doesn't really do any good to complain on the stream about that, but I don't know. That's my rant for today. There is no search function. There should be a search function. Alright. Last lamp thingy going in. Just kind of, again, looking about where it is. That seems alright. It's doing the lag thing again. Hold on. Let's get that sorted. Now, just eyeballing it, this looks closer together than this one over here. So I'm going to have to move one of these. I'll probably move this one, space it out a bit. But I have to go back into the list. Orange, orange, orange. So see, orange glass sconce, number 3. That's not selected anymore. It's over there. See what I mean? It does. It randomizes it half the time, so you have to constantly be checking. I knew I wasn't nuts. So I was like, man, I think I just did that one and that one's showing, and now I know why, because it does that. So now I need to get the other one. Orange, orange, orange. Gosh, what one is that? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Move it just a little bit. Whoa, don't want to send all to crate. That'd be bad. That would be a nightmare. Okay, let's see how it looks now. A little bit better. Probably could still move a little wider. These two look pretty close in position, just going off of where it's located on the window, but this one definitely should move out a little bit, so. Okay, orange sconce, one more time. Where are you? There we go. Keep wanting to hit that crate off. I don't know why. That's dangerous to have that button there. Okay, that's a little better. It's closer. Feels more equally spaced there. So let's check his bedroom, make sure it's not like where he walks in and he's blinded for life. Because those do give pretty good light. Wow. It is very well lit. But that's okay. I think it'll be alright. That lamp really just gives off some powerful light. That's what we'll pretend. Okay, so I think we got one more sconce to put in. Yes, we do. I bought it. I gotta put it somewhere. So let's. Where we want to put it? I think we want to put it here. I know there's really nothing there, but it just feels like it needs that. So no. Here, closer. Click it, right? Oh, you. Well, let's go back out. We'll do it the hard way. Let's call up the cloney tool and dig through the sconces. Again, I like the orange sconces because they do give off a good amount of light. It's not like a bright white, kind of softer with the yellow coloring to it. So to me, it's a better choice if I'm going to go for room lighting. I usually go for that one. Like the brass standing lamp, that thing's like too bright. With the cone up above and at the bottom, it's like I don't like that thing at all. I never use that. But I love these lamps. I don't necessarily like the little brass bracketry that comes with it. I'd rather just have some glass like light balls that you could put inside things and have it behave as if that thing is the lamp and not the ball itself. That would be fun. You kind of can do that with this, but you know, sometimes you fall into the situation where you just can't hide those brass bits sticking out or the funny shape on the end. But I figure maybe something like that could come now that they've kind of proven that they can do the effects. Wow, that thing's kind of warping. Either that or I'm hitting the wrong. Whoops, what did I do? Just totally messed that up. Crud, now I gotta look for orange sconce again. Dang it. Which one? Which one? Okay. That's just all kind of wonky. Hey Mario, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you, good to see you. Oh, come on. Like, doesn't want to sneak in there. Okay, there we go. It doesn't look big enough though. Why is that? There we go. I think that's better. A little bit extra. For some reason this doesn't look like it's lighting up like the others, but I think that's because with all this extra light here, it just looks really bright in this corner. I think that's what's causing it. But I really like the lighting it up. PvP, I honestly don't PvP myself, but I have heard others talk about it. I don't know if it's a big thing. I know there are a lot of PvPers, and there are probably PvP guilds that pretty much just dedicate themselves to that. And I know that Carbine's been working to make it, you know, incentivize it a bit more, making the queue times less painful and that kind of thing. But I really couldn't say that it's like the top thing. It's a part of it, an aspect of the game that there's a good many people that enjoy doing. Beyond that, I really couldn't tell you. I don't know, because I myself don't dabble in that. With the guild that I'm in, we're a super casual guild. We do have players that play PvP. So even in the, you know, the mainstream, there's people that participate. But I couldn't tell you, you know. I do know that according to most of the conversation now, currently the PvP servers, Lumini and Warhound, I think are the names, are virtual ghost realms because there was some issue in the past, and so all of the active PvPers on those realms, there was just kind of like a mass exodus that they went to the PvE realms. So they're doing PvP on the PvE. So it's not like they're really probably participating in a lot of open world PvE kind of PvP stuff. But they are having better luck with battleground queues and things like that. How much better, I really couldn't honestly say, because again, I don't really participate in that aspect of the game at all. I mean, I've done a few events with my guild, but that's really not the same thing. But you know, to each their own. And as free-to-play comes, I'm sure there will be more and more people that engage in all aspects of the game, and that will only improve the queues and the liveliness of it. Whether that is actually going to save the PvP realms, that's remains to be seen. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of incentive given to get people to transfer back over or to start up on there. I don't know. Well, you know, that's like I said, Mario, to each their own. It's understandable that housing does not suit everybody. It just happens to be my favorite aspect of the game. so I showcase that. But I'm sure if you hunt around on the Twitch streams, you'll find some that are engaging in a lot of PvP activity. Just like we have a lot of folks that stream raid-oriented stuff, where they just do leveling, and for me, there's enough of that. I don't think anyone will benefit from watching me, you know, face roll across my keyboard as I try to do combat. So I just stick with what I prefer. But I appreciate you dropping in, even if housing is not your thing. It's always interesting to hear other people's opinions of it. Hopefully even non-builders can appreciate some of the work put into it if they kind of, you know, take a look and see just what all's being done to get this far. Okay, so did a little bit of the lighting. I like the lighting here. Basically all I used, I think it was an Oran chandelier that I've just kind of tucked into the ceiling to kind of really light up the center stage of the lab. But I think he could use some lighting here at his desk. I know there's like this little lamp thing over here, but it's not actually on, so I think it might be fun if I can figure that out. Well, housing serves several purposes, Mario. There's one, certain furniture has what we call buffs. So like this one, for instance, has a small ambience buff. It provides a bonus to your rest of XP. So a lot of people, all they are concerned about is finding those items that will increase their rest XP bonuses when they log out in their house. Because you already get some when you log out in your house, as opposed to logging out in town, as opposed to logging out in the open world. So for those that want to really pull all the benefit out of that, they will aim for decor that has those extra buffs. They're small, medium, large levels. You would have aroma, medium, and if you mix and match all the different types, there's like ones for lighting, ones for aroma, ones for ambience, that kind of stuff, then that stacks all together up to whatever max it is. So that's a bonus. Plus you've got plugs, fab kits that you can install on your house that have specific functionality, like if you do a lot of crafting, you can put in a mining plot. One for if you're a technologist, you can get your nodes there. For survivalists, they have one that provides trees and meats. And then another one for garden if you do a lot of plant resources that you have to use for your crafting, that kind of thing. There's also a crafting station, personal bank. There's mailboxes that you can access. There's portals you can get that will teleport you directly to a raid or to a zone. There's those that are like little mini dungeons. We call them expeditions, but I think they're changing the name of that in the future. I think it's housing expeditions, they're going to specifically call it. But they're like scalable little mini dungeons that you can have on your house. There's quest things that you can get from them. There's the customization station where you can actually sort out your runes and things right on your plot. There's the crafting station, there's vendors, there's all kinds of extra benefits that even if you're not into building your own little, you know, magical home, there's still functionality that you can get out of it. A lot of people have been asking for access to like the auction house and the custom, you know, the commodities exchange and that kind of thing, but I don't know if they'll bring that in or not. That could come with maybe guild housing if they introduce that. We got communities coming in, so maybe if you don't have enough room on your plot for all of the fab kits that provide some kind of a specific use, like all the portals and all the crafting stuff, maybe you can hook up with someone else that has the ones you don't have, and then they're all readily available. That way you know, can skip a lot of going through town and doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not all about making pretty stuff, but I like that aspect of it as well. So I just have fun with it. Never heard of that game, Mario, Ratchet and Clank. I have no idea what that is. So I'll take your word for it that it kind of reminds you of that. I'm more reminded of Firefly with that kind of, you know, the space cowboys kind of thing. Even the music tends to bring me to that thought often. So let's see. I think Thove talked about grabbing some more of these, so we may later add a second little tiered garden here. So I'll have to do some repositioning when that happens, but for now we'll leave it like it is. Let's see. I think we placed all of the sky growths. No, we still got one more, so let's figure out where we could put that. Yeah, Bones, I did see that. I think it's, I wanted to say it was like text-based at first, but it may not be. I do know I saw this, the site, and they talked about like going on missions and stuff. But I didn't look much further into it than that. I think I have it bookmarked somewhere, but yeah, I did notice that. Now, I didn't really even know about that series. I think it was already canceled by the time I heard about it, and I was very disappointed when I learned that they had actually canceled it, because it was a fun thing. Oh, well, that's good to know. I'm just gonna see if I can get this really big and maybe have it kind of overhanging the centerpiece here. I don't know if that'll really obscure it too much, or I'm also worried about it intruding from the outside. I know those areas aren't supposed to be connected, but I swear sometimes it acts like it is, because the item that I'm using for the pond outside, I've actually been able to click while I was in here, so it's a little nervous about. I'm not sure where to put this thing. Maybe I just leave it kind of out in the open here. Wonder if that would make sense. I don't want it intruding too much, because again, that's not really the focus, but I think it'll bring some kind of interest to the ceiling. Something like that. Oh, sorry, Bones. Yeah, I don't allow links. So it's probably inadvertently banished your messages because of that. That's just that's Moobot misbehaving. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Other times it seems to work fine. It only blocks those that are really but I've had people in the past link some questionable sites, so I don't really want my viewers to have the temptation to click on stuff that they shouldn't, or they should be careful about doing. So I don't know. Is it one of those first person kind of perspectives? Because that's why I never got into stuff like Call of Duty and junk because I don't know, for some reason, that's part of the reason why I zoom out. Most of the time when I'm playing, I'm this far away from my character. I don't like being real up close because, I don't know, it kind of looks funny to me. Almost makes me sick with the first person shooter stuff, so I never really played those. My husband likes those, but I don't. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that because I do like the series. You know, I'm not like one of those that knows every detail of it and can, you know, name every character and everything, but we do have all of the stuff on DVD and everything. Well, Blu-ray now, but yeah, I think we'll leave this here. I think I like the idea of just some of the roots kind of dangling. If he happens to get a hold of some more, maybe I'll fill in the rest of this ceiling area with some too. I think that'll be an interesting deal to have. Well, that's good, because if it was going to be that, I definitely wouldn't be able to handle it, because that's just not my thing. It's kind of like with the headset. I know a lot of streamers, they all go with the headset, and so that their voice is like perfectly crystal clear and no audio problems and stuff, but those things hurt my ears, and I've tried several different kinds, and I just can't find one that's very comfortable, so I just go without. Okay, so let me just do a quick glance at some of the stuff that's in here. See if there's anything we might can. I think there's still one empty tank in the middle here. I'm gonna see if I can find something that will work for that. Got like a ton of glass here. Coins don't really make sense. Got a lot of trees. I told him that he'll probably be able to use those upstairs in plentiful amount, especially when the free-to-play hits live. Then we'll have all that extra space to fill up. Just kind of taking a quick sort of look, see if there's anything else. I can't remember offhand what all I told him he might want to get a hold of, so I'm just kind of double checking. He's got some more pumpkins I could probably slip out there somewhere. Don't know where though. Got an extra orange window. You could probably put in the pathway up top. Probably plants. Plants that would probably go for. I like this, but it doesn't really fit anything he's got in here. In my opinion, he might decide that that's not the case, but yeah, I just don't see anything that really. You know, I thought about using the rugs in his living room and stuff, but will the game be popular on Twitch when it goes free to play? Honestly, Mario, I couldn't answer that. I have no idea. I'm sure there will be, much like the influx of population when a game first releases, or when it does an expansion, or it does kind of a reboot like WildStar is getting ready to go through. There's going to be an influx of players, and that could include a lot of streamers. But to know if they're actually going to stick around and stuff, I don't know. And whether or not, you know, they'll continue with their streams, it's really hard to say, because when we were in beta stage in the beginning, before we'd even launched, and even after we launched, just those first few months, there was like a mass amount of streamers that were wanting to be the first to be able to show all the stuff and everything. And then before you knew it, there was like nobody because, yeah, I guess the shininess had worn off, and that's going to be true, you know, for any game, anytime, any situation. Myself, I'll be around, so even if this isn't the topic you want to, you know, I'll still be streaming. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't really see too much else. Can't really honestly remember what all I had him get. I'll have to look it up and make sure I'm not missing something specific, but I think it was mostly the books and plants we were looking for. So I need some kind of a flower that I can see in that center tank, I guess. Where is the plants? Did I pass it? No, he just doesn't have any. Okay, let's check the trees then. Maybe I can find something that can fit. None of those look right. He really needs another like little tall flower. I'll just leave that blank for now and tell him if he comes up with one that he feels like would fit that best, and we'll add it. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it good for now. As I said, this is probably going to be the last time I showcase this plot as far as building wise goes. I may do a little tour of it in full, but likely I'll do that offline and just do kind of without a commentation, just for his keepsake kind of use. Because you know, I've already showcased this a lot with the building, and people know they can look back on those videos and kind of get an idea of how I went about it, why I did what I did here and there. I think I will try and do the lamp here that I was talking about earlier. I keep getting sidetracked thinking about other things. And then we'll call it. So let's see what lighting we got left to work with. Problem is finding something that will fit up inside here nicely. But that still gives off a good amount of light. We're going to see how much light this thing gives. Some of these, when you make them small, you just can't see them at all. That's kind of frustrating. See, it's like very little light at all. I'm tempted to just get another sconce and hide it inside the desk, and it should light up this little corner here. I'm going to try that, I think. I really do like the lighting of sconce. It's just, sometimes it's a little awkward to use. Let's just kind of put that in a bit so you can actually see it, but the light is still there. See, that's with the light, and if I move it away, that's without. So it really does kind of brighten it up, which is, you know, really what we're aiming for. So it kind of gives the impression that the lamp on the desk is actually working, which is really the whole point. I like that. If he decides he wants more lighting in other places, I will, of course, come back in and do that for him. Same way with any of the extra, like the mossy overgrowths, if he gets a hold of more of those, or if he crafts himself some more of the cerulean sky growths, we'll tweak it here and there. But I think that is it. It's been a fun project. I've had a delightful time just kind of playing around. And of course, working with Tho has been a pleasure. He's been very supportive, patient, lending advice and feedback here and there. Been very helpful in gathering a lot of the materials that we needed, like the flowers for the tree and everything. He's been very uh, generous with his compliments and everything, because he's very happy about how it's gone and what he's ended up with. Um, and of course, I strongly suspect we'll probably be working with him in the future, as he might want to make renovations or additions or whatever. Because like with the waterfalls coming in, I'm sure he's going to want to play around with the new water decor when it becomes available, and kind of fleshing out the landscape up here. But for now, I think we will call it good. Like I said, it's kind of a bittersweet kind of thing, because it's great to be working on a project like this and having so many ideas come out of it. And, you come across different kinds of challenges and problems, and then, you feel really good when you figure it out and make it work. But it's sad because the project is more or less done. So, that means we get to move on to other things. But as I mentioned, we are working on the new wild ball field for EU. Katya has been very generous in letting me have access to the wild ball add-on that she has been putting together, and in the hopes that more people can kind of give it a try, give their feedback on it and all of that kind of stuff. She's allowed me to build a field on one of my alt plots so that EU players can have a go at it. For up until now, it's just been entity NA players that have been able to give it a shot. So that should be interesting. I do have the field already built. Today I'm going to be working on trying to sort out the scoreboard. That'll probably be later this afternoon, evening. So hopefully by the end of the day, I will have it in working condition. I'm going to use a couple of my guildmates as guinea pigs to try and see if it's working properly. And if it is, then I will be opening it up to the public thereafter, and folks will be welcome to contact me to arrange some game time. Because as the same with Katya, I have to be present on the plot in order for the add-on to work, so that the game functions like it's supposed to. Otherwise, the decor is just there for pretty looks. If it comes that it's a rather popular thing, I may start, like set up a schedule or something and say these days I'll be available, and you just have to contact me through my character, blah blah blah. But we'll see how that goes. I just don't know the demand for it yet, so we'll see. I do have another guildmate that I will be probably working on a few ideas for him. His is a post-apocalyptic kind of wasteland scenario kind of thing, and he's asked me to, at my leisure, come and play around with some ideas of building some structures on his plot to kind of bring that vision to life. So we will probably be visiting his plot next week, here and there. I, of course, also have my own plot that I will be clearing out very soon, in anticipation of prepping it for a guild event that I'm going to be holding at the end of next month. So I've got, a deadline on that one for sure. I want to have it pretty much done so that when my guildies come for the event, everything's, all set and nice. On the plus side for that particular project, with Katya's new upgraded PTR version of her toolkit, I should be able to do some prelim building in the PTR and then just have it replaced, rebuild it with the add-on there, so I don't have to go all from scratch. So that's going to be a plus. I'll probably be spending some time on free to play with that as well. And I think that's about it. Other than our usual weekly house tours on Wednesday, everything else is just going to be jumping from project to project as it comes up, as it hits. I don't know if we'll be doing any more visits on the PTR. It's possible. In fact, it may be that I showcase some of the new stuff that I'm going to be setting up for the main plot when free to play goes live, just to kind of get you all interested in it. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate the views, the follows, the chatter in the chat box. That's always good. And I hope you guys have a great day. Good luck with your own projects, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.